Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with BlackICE and Third Reich Events installed, and we are at continuing the start of the Barbarossa campaign of 1942. Called in Bulgaria to join the military alliance, and Italy into active combat. They were already allies. Axis partners. Good, these guys are there. Oh, some transports. No, but we're naval striking as well. This looks good. So we're just pressing into them more we can. Little learning breaks. They still have some ability to resist, most assuredly. Let's attach this to the SSHQ somewhere. Okay, home front focus has advanced. And agriculture has advanced, which improves my manpower. Where is agriculture? Why am I not seeing that? Oh, here. Yeah. Still too far forward. there for? Just want to go here. Oh, cool. See if we see some transports with our shard horse. Man, we're not doing that well. We're not losing anything. Elizabethville. Goody. We've captured that. Well. We'll start getting more here now that we have that. Very good, that's still working out. Oh good, we got rid of a Russian cruiser. Yay. Yeah, see who sunk the cruiser. So it'll give us ships sunk. Scharnhorst sunk the cruiser. Well, good for you. Always best to attack from multiple directions. Sorry if I sound overly professorial or telling you what you already know, but not everyone knows that. I'm here to help those that might not know it. And if you see me doing something you think is wrong, let me know too, you know. I want to learn. I may tell you why I'm doing something. You may see that there's a good reason for it. Or there may not be a good reason for it. And I'll learn how to do it better. We're winning lots of battles. Battle of Stanleyville, way down here in Africa. Forces under attack. Nuclear power. Okay, we've gained this effect because we just took Elizabethville, obviously, just recently here, and they have uranium, and we had all long since had Rajucan up here, which has heavy water. So now that we have both, we've gained the nuclear power effect. Nuclear research, which I'm not going to do because we're not going to be around long enough for it, and I think it should be very harder than it probably is to get for most nations. Germany should be able to get it. They did have a nuke program. They were going towards it, but they were doing it very sporadically, very low resources, but they were doing it. So, but it should be something difficult. But the money's nice. We could use the money. 25%. Okay, broadcasting advance, which will help our leadership. Okay, these guys are doing their job. Running into this. I'm gonna push in here, but I'm not gonna push hard through the swamps. It just, I think, is somewhat counterproductive. Push up to the edge of the forest here, though. Reorganization. Okay, as you can see, we've just about closed this other pocket off here. So this force keeps moving along there. They're about about ready to shatter, it looked like. Oh, yes, so we need to be doing that as well, don't we? By that, convoys. Create a supply convoy for Seton. Where's Seton? It should be right here. And we're going to go to Riga. Take a quick look at supply. That way we're pushing supplies straight from the capital up to here. To here, obviously, to here, and maybe we'll send it into Lipia. I don't know. Very un-Anglo-Saxon names. Why do people name places in their countries in un-Anglo-Saxon ways? Don't they understand that we have a hard time trying to pronounce these strange names? Yes, I know, you know I'm joking, because it's sort of funny. How much some people do think the world needs to be organized. Ah, okay, now see, I love to see this here. As you saw earlier on, the Soviets were hitting us pretty hard with their air power. And so I shifted a bunch of the air power that was damaged to the west and sent a bunch of the western air power to the east. And I want to see battles like this, that I'm overwhelming them in numbers of units and organizational quality and the strengths like this. And what I want to do here is find out where I need it. Yeah. Watch this pop up. Well, didn't last very long. Not a lot of units coming. Many useful things. Well, I'm hoping to attack them in the flank there. Okay, finally. Let's move in the Jaeger units. Transport, I guess rebase temporarily at least to there. A bunch of victories. Now, looking at that. We're going to one big flotilla here. Not exactly my favorite thing, but it's way too much stuff here. Okay. Yes, I know that I've had Panzer divisions not in a fight. And that's not the best solution. Things I don't want to move everything. One of these. These are going to have to wait for the next. Put some of these there. They're all done now. So, okay. That's enough. We're going to base them to there temporarily. reducing their pockets here. Support that attack. Good. Alright, what tech? Heavy guns increased to 4. That on ships? No, that's here. Okay. So that's helped a lot of our HQs. Heavy gun improvements. That'll be useful. That, but okay. Why are these getting left behind? He out of okay, so they're too far away. Alright, now here's group pursuit. There we go. That's good. Little management. Keep it all going. good, we've linked up. Let's go quickly over to here so you can see this pocket's been created here and we're reducing it. This pocket, we're reducing it. This is finally fallen. We're in June 1 here. They've got this down here, so reduce it. Move that forward. Flank support. So that little pocket's going to get reduced as well. We're going to be creating a pocket with whatever's here very quickly. So notice this is all open to us and I just need to make sure we get there. Resources. Lots of forces up to here. Baden Berlin, Shattered Division. Okay, yep, German-Soviet economic agreement has been removed, which it should be. So railway's too wide, mine got. Now I want to see the effects before and after. Let's see if we can see that. Oh, maybe it already happened. Because you know the infrastructure, new Panzer Corps. Yeah, we'll take that. Yep, we want another commerce raider. Yes, we want that. Police, because we're going to need to occupy these territories. Railway protection police. Yes, we want that. Rad battalion. Okay. He's done a good job. This is Revolver Heltz, including the previous police ones, events, and he sort of just, if you will, beat me to developing some of these rad units. And I say rad units, and it's Reich Events. I think I'm getting pretty close with that. Sorry, my German viewers, that I'm butchering it. But to me, when I say rad battalions, being a Californian, if you know anything about, like when I was growing up in the 70s, and even into the early 80s, rad meant something sort of different, sort of like cool, or neat, or nice, or whatever. So rad battalions, and that's short for radical. That's where the word rad comes from. Okay, so we're going to form these. We'll get, I guess, some battalions of rad troops. And the rad units, I haven't read all the detail, but also they were, as you see guys here with shovels, that was sort of their symbol, if you will. But when they were operating in occupied zones, they were given rifles. They weren't like expected to go fight the Soviet army or anything like that, but if, shall we say, a local breakthrough. But they were, it started in Poland to some degree and continued to expand throughout the war, that they were used to repair roads, bridges, whatever, you know, bomb damage, you know, on a road from a Stuka dive bomber, blow it out, come in there and quickly, you know, prepare it up, and that kind of thing, while, you know, not right after, you know, right on the front line, but back a ways to keep the supply lines open, keep all that stuff open, and they were doing that in the Soviet Union as well for the invasion. And so these were generally young men, generally a bit younger than at the time military service. They had had military training in the Hitler Youth. They had more military basic training through some of the SA programs that I've read about, which may have been training the RAD itself, and then training in the RAD, basic small arms and stuff. So they knew what to do with a rifle, and so they were sent there to do the logistical support, mostly construction, but other logistical support to keep the German army moving forward. But as like with all these pockets, there were, you know, thousands of little tiny pockets of platoons, of companies, battalions that were cut off and trying to make their way back and turning partisan and all these various things and melting away. So they had to be armed to deal with, you know, oops, we bumped into somebody, or some minor local counterattack, especially later and later in the war, counterattacks, and just to sort of protect themselves. So they were armed in that sense, but they weren't combat real units. So if, and I hope these will be some sort of militia type unit, then that's perfectly acceptable. Militia aren't meant to be all conquering great troops. They were meant to be your basic you know, part-time weekend soldier type guys, and that's so that fills. Well, let's see what we have here. If we can find the RAD troops. Okay. These are the police we just got. Okay, so they're all stuck under a single HQ like that. Now, I had previously, without knowing that he was going to do this, or maybe he did it because he saw me doing this, because we communicated, I've created a few RAD officers in here. Hans Schuren, very interesting guy. I want to look him up on the internet. I found out that he was in Cameroon, way down here, during World War I, and was a prisoner of the French, the British, somebody like that. Eventually got exchanged into Switzerland, and then via that repatriated into Germany while World War I was still going on. He was not an army officer in World War II. He was in the RAD well before the war started. But so that's why I gave him jungle trait and sort of commando trait, because, you know, low supplies. Because the RAD is supposed to help supply and maintain. That's why I gave him that. So, sure. This is jungle trait may be lost here, but for effectiveness, but I think I have a couple more RAD. Don't have many. And you can look here to see like AA for anti-aircraft. Not all Luftwaffe ground troops have that. That's mainly for troops that commanded divisions that were anti-aircraft divisions. Many of those were more administrative. They were sort of dispersed around in multiple cities. And so the divisional commander didn't necessarily actively command all parts of the division. He was more of a, you know, manager of supplies and personnel and that kind of stuff. is not available yet. Oh, here we go. I didn't. Yeah, okay, so we got 2 of these guys. I didn't make them, most of them very good. It's sort of Han Shuren is good just because of his background. Now, I think this is a bit of a mix-up here because Mit's north. This is Nord. This is the south. Oh well, doesn't really matter the names. I know he's redoing his. Mod getting ready for BlackICE. He and the D-Worm and I are generally coordinating things rather well, so that I'll probably at some point break off a couple of these to make sort of, you know, core kind of structures out of them to spread them out once. Oop, sorry. Once they start getting out and needing control of the territory for anti-partisan use, which we're starting a little bit here, but most of the area on here too. Because that's sort of what these Romanians are for, is anti-partisan use, but I'm using them to scoop up territory still. And close down pockets and those kind of good things. You don't want to rely upon Romanians or Italians to hold your major fronts against the Soviets. That's what happened at Stalingrad. They gave them, well, okay, we'll just see this. They gave them big broad fronts, which they couldn't hold. Should have interspersed them with German units, and they probably would have been alright. Not saying the soldiers weren't brave, those of my friends here who are from those nations, but just they weren't equipped well, they weren't quite honestly led that well, things like that. That's why I have a low opinion of their capabilities in World War II compared to, you know, other nations at the time. Okay, we're gonna just charge out here and keep moving. Slowly, but they're coming. Okay, I think we're going to end this episode. It's been fun. I'm enjoying this. Just a second though, we will quickly get back to the flag view. We can see a lot of areas taken here. Down here I think we're doing quite well. I don't know why, and I've looked at the code, it doesn't seem anything wrong. I don't know why Finland isn't joining. They're, if anything, moving towards the Allies now, but It should be firing, but I don't know. And so we're doing well there. All there for, you know, we came in on, I think it was May 5th, or right about there, and so we're just about 30 days into it. We've got that. So of course the Soviet Union is a whole lot bigger than that. Something the Germans just didn't understand the scale. And they saw, like Napoleon, you get there and you've won. That's what Napoleon thought. Napoleon, because whenever he took Vienna, basically he won against the Austro-Hungarians, or took Potsdam, around Berlin area here. He won against the Prussians or whatever. Russia's bigger than that. I know in an earlier episode I talked about the rails, and that's very true. If you get Moscow, you, I think, largely cripple the Soviets' ability to respond to your attacks, reinforce their various fronts, keep everything supplied. You really cripple that. That doesn't mean you win the war, though. It does mean that you've totally changed the balance. And also, I would say, speed has something to do with it. Meaning, if you get and you take Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad, which the Germans never took. The Stalingrad, they held out right along here, just in a little bit of a pocket, holding out when the Germans were pushing in, and just barely holding it. I mean, they got like 90% of the city or more. Is when the counterattacks from here and here came and cut that off. I mean, they almost got it. And yeah, they had Leningrad besieged, basically, but the Finns refused to move past their pre-war boundaries, so they were just up here, and the German, and they were, depending on the time of year, they could get food into it. So it was a besieged city, never taken. So all the troops were employed, holding the line here and holding the line here, instead of able to move in. So they didn't take that, and that way, obviously, they got it to right about here or whatever, or here. I don't know. Supposedly some scouting units could claim to see the spires of the Kremlin from wherever they were. But so they got almost there. But had they taken those three cities, and yeah, Stalingrad is somewhat symbolic, but it's mostly cutting off the rail links that were here and cutting off the abilities to use. And they massively used these rivers when they were the right time of year to move goods and troops and services and equipment, on barges. So cutting all that off would have really changed something. So had they did that in the first campaign season, if you will, that would have changed things, I think, dramatically. Again, I'm not saying the Soviet Union would have collapsed or would have surrendered at that point, but they might have, thought of, oh, well, we're going to defend back, here and to the east, kind of thing, and just let the Germans have this, that kind of thing, and which would have been a very different war at that point. Okay, thanks for watching. We will be continuing.